Yes, people, we are back with a full panel straight after the international break for the Red Cartel. Thank you for joining us on this Friday evening. Looking forward to this one as Liverpool are back playing football after it's been a bit of a torrid international break for a lot of Liverpool fans. It's probably the first time in a couple of months we've been had to hold it. Been getting a couple of strays here and there. Arsenal sitting pretty, of course, at the top of the Premier League for the time being. And obviously, United are due to come to Anfield this weekend. So there's plenty to unpack. And I've got an action-packed panel with me tonight. Man like Tez is back in the building. I've got Shells in the building. I've got Connor. I've got Shane. I've got Tom Little in the building. And I have got Jamie Phillips. So, lads, thank you very much. Hope we're all okay. Want to just kind of get into things. And, Jamie, I'll start with you. You were just mentioning before we went live, Slot's press conference today, and now a couple of fans, or not just a couple of fans, but portions of the fan base have seemed to have lost their cool a little bit. What did you make from the press conference?
Firstly, I just love the fact he rattles people. That just cracks me up. Secondly, it was something I think a lot of us Liverpool fans have been talking about in the national break about will he change things system-wise, tactically, formation. And pretty much in the press conference, he said, there's not much wrong. There's not much wrong. Called out some chances that people have missed, opportunities players have missed before. Talks about the majority of goals we conceded this season. I think 60% are from set pieces, which, I don't know why he brought that up, because that can make you sound a bit bitter because we've scored set piece goals to win games, obviously. But yeah, I don't really care too much about press conferences with managers and all that, because, they say one thing in a press conference and tell the boys something completely different behind the scenes. Do you know what I mean? It's just, It is what it is. It's about showmanship. It's entertainment. It's part of the PR, ain't it? So, but a lot of people have been rattled by it, especially a lot of Liverpool fans, because they feel like changes are a must. But I make him right in some aspects. I think players have to hold themselves accountable for chances they're not creating as well and opportunities they're not using. But yeah, the manager said he said his thing, man. And we're going to see what changes on Sunday, because he might say one thing and do a totally different thing the next day. So it's interesting.
We'll have to wait and see, lads. There's not been like a huge spread about obviously some Slot's comments earlier today, but are we kind of looking at things from the outside, looking in the Arsenal, the United lads, and looking at it and thinking maybe this is the first time that Slot's actually under a little bit of pressure, and it'll be interesting to see how he deals with the pressure now that Liverpool find themselves in this position? Or do you think it's just business as usual?
You know what? I just going back to James's point.
Jamie, yeah.
I think he hit the nail on the head. Managers say whatever in these press conferences, man. You can't take. It's like chalk and cheese, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what they're saying to the players and what they're saying to the media is completely different. Do you know what I mean? Slot hasn't got to where he is as a manager to know that there's stuff he needs to change. You know what I'm saying? He's not obviously going to go and spear out in front of Amrin and let Man United what he's going to do. So, yes, he's under pressure, but this is why he gets paid the big bucks, and this is why he's won the leagues, This is not a rookie manager. He knows what he's doing. So when fans get upset about what managers have said, it's just like, bro, just let's focus on the results. Don't focus too much on what he's saying. If there's a reaction from Liverpool now and you guys win 3-4, the narrative's different. And football's a funny game,
Massively. I'll go to the Arsenal lads then. Given I think he's played first this weekend, so he's getting a chance to extend the lead in the league potentially as well. How are you guys feeling based on the comments and based on obviously the big game that Liverpool are going to be taking on with United? How are you thinking? Fulham away from home. Is this a real opportunity now? Is this an opportunity where Arteta can show once again that he can apply the pressure and extend a little bit of a lead in the league?
Well, we're not really playing first because City will play before us, and they're right in with it as well when you think about it that way, because City could be ahead of us. I think they will be as well. It's a different type of
City got Shane?
They're home to Everton. Home to Everton. Okay. Everton have been all right, but I just think
Grealish can't play either. Grealish won't be able to play that game
can't
either.
Play, and I just think Haaland will have their defense on toast. But so they could be ahead of us, and then extending the lead is a different sort of pressure. It's caught us out before. But Fulham have a lot of injuries. I think Munoz is out. I think Robinson's. There's a few of them out. we're okay for injury. Obviously, Ben White's injured again, but as I've said before, his career's over from the way he was flogged when he had a knee injury. But we're all right for injuries. I think Zubimendi was given a little bit of a rest from training, so we should be all right. We should be going there and winning. But Craven Cottage has been tough for us in the past, very tough for us in the past. It's a tough ground to go to anyway. It's small and compact. They're not easy to get at with set pieces. Leno's quite confident on crosses and stuff like that. They're quite big at the back. And last season there, we struggled in the first half. We got a draw in the end and should have nicked it, but Martinelli was a fingertip offside. But tough place to go. But look, when we beat Newcastle 2-1, I looked at the next fixtures. I looked at West Ham, Fulham, Palace, can't remember who have, and then Spurs. But there was 4 of them that we should be winning. And I looked at them and said, I just want 5 wins and no excuses. If we want to be taken seriously, we need to win 5. I don't want to be worrying about Liverpool or City. Just win 5 games. And then we'll talk, because these are the ones that we should be winning, but they're the ones that catch us out. So I'm cautiously optimistic going into tomorrow. Like I said, they've got injuries. Craven Cottage is a tough place to go. But if you want to win leagues, you have to go there and win. That's it. There's no excuses. You can't go there and draw. When in a 3-horse race, a draw is a loss. You may as well go for the win. A draw is a loss in a 3-horse race. So we need to go there, win, convincingly, preferably. But if I'm confident enough that we'll go there and win, especially with their injuries. But Silva's gotten the better of Arteta before. So it could be, it's one of those weekends, isn't it? You could be sitting on top, or you could be third place. It can sway that quickly. But yeah, I'm confident enough going into it. I mean, it's Fulham at the end of the day. We should be beating them.
Connor, what are your confidence levels saying this weekend? He's obviously finished before the international break on a high. Big result. We watched that Newcastle game, and that was a big result. And then obviously he's going to the West Ham game. That's a very polished performance. Obviously, he's been able to dispatch West Ham. Do you think this is where Arsenal's season now really needs to kick up a gear?
Yeah, I do. I mean, you know me. I'm going to be optimistic when I have absolutely no right to be. I'm always like, yeah, I'm going to say we're going to win every single game. But yeah, no, I'm optimistic against Fulham. I kind of really just got to echo what Shane said. To be fair, he covered every base just then. And Craven Cottage is one of them where Fulham will be a problem for us, but they'll be a problem for us once in like 3 seasons. So like last year it was an issue, but then we'll have no problem the 2 previous seasons. And then there'll be an issue again when like we really need to just run through them. But yeah, the injuries are a big thing. And yeah, they are a team that we should be beating confidently. It's especially when we don't have that big an injury crisis right now. Our first main 11 is cool. It's set. Are they going to play Odegaard? Are they not? I don't know. But we have options in there to kind of fill that space. And I don't think it's going to have that much of an impact of what's going to happen. And I don't think as well, based on Arteta's press conference the other day, and the joke he made about playing with the handbrake on, I don't think he's going to play with the handbrake on.
We've seen a little bit of a change in, not necessarily style, but change in approach from Arteta, lads. Tom, I'm going to ask you, is this a time now where we kind of need to not necessarily be worried about what Arsenal are doing, but we do need to keep an eye on their form at the moment? And then there's nothing we can do if they get momentum ultimately. But these results, as Shane just said, they're 4 games that they expect to be winning. Is this an opportunity for Arsenal now, or do you think Liverpool and City are just going to keep so close to them that they're not really going to be able to get much of a gap on us? I think you're muted, lad. Yeah, you're on mute, so I'm sorry.
There's always one.
Isn't it? So professional. It's hard to say for City because a lot of their season's going to depend on Errol Haaland and how fit he stays, because they haven't really got much else outside of that. But he is a difference maker. For us, in the nicest possible way, it's absolutely fucking irrelevant what Arsenal do if we don't fix up. I couldn't care what they're doing. They could go on a 5-game losing streak. I can't back us to take advantage of it. We've lost 3 in a row.
Really? So but you not think we played 3 difficult away games though, Tom, when you put it into context, lad? Like
the 3 difficult away games, yeah, but the 3 difficult away games I expected a point in, especially considering the context of Chelsea's back line for the last 30 minutes was Reece James and Jarell Hatter at centre back, and we did nothing. Crystal Palace, we should have lost by 5 or 6, except for a world-class performance from Alisson. Galatasaray, our best chance, our only chance, was a header from Conor Bradley in the 70th minute. We didn't create anything. So if we were playing well in these games and we were just getting a bit of hard luck, VAR stepping in when it shouldn't have done whatever, then it's a different kettle of fish. But you haven't played well all season and the results are drying up. So we need to, before we look at anyone else's problems and start, looking at everyone else, we need to look at ourselves first and book ourselves up and fix ourselves up, because if we don't do that, it's irrelevant what others do. We won't capitalise on it. So I, as much as I'd like Arsenal to start dropping points and everything, I can't. I'm not. That's not me focused at the minute, because I need us to show that we're there, ready, waiting to take advantage of these slip ups and to close the gap and to really put our foot to their throat when they slip up and put the pressure on them. Because right now I can't see us doing that. So I'm not worrying right now about anyone else. I'm worrying about us and if we're going to turn up.
Cuts deep, man. It cuts deep.
It cuts deep. You're sounding worried, bro. You're sounding mad worried over
I'm not worried about you lot. No, I'm worried about myself.
I was just going to ask you then. Tom does seem like there's a bit of an anxiety there, and he's not convinced. Do you genuinely think this is probably one of Arsenal's best chances to try and build on that momentum now, and maybe even just send a message to the rest of the chasing pack that they're not going to be moved? And as I say, if Liverpool aren't able to fix up, Arsenal could potentially run away with it with City to an extent.
Yeah, I don't know whether any team will actually run away with it, because I still think it'll be very close week by week, especially as we've seen so far. It looks like maybe not so much Arsenal, but every other team can take points off each other. I do think it is Arsenal's best chance to probably cement themselves, because they're in a position where they've got quite a few injuries to key players, but the squad is strong enough that they're able to put out a competitive 11 to still beat majority of the teams in the league, and they haven't really been in this kind of situation. So if they can continue on this level where they're able to be top or within the top two, and then welcome back players like Madueke and Havertz and Jesus into the attacking fold, it'll give them a boost, especially because the difference with Arsenal compared to like Liverpool is I don't think Arsenal lose many, if any, players to AFCON, whereas Liverpool do lose Salah, which is the big one. And obviously the way things are not gelling right now for the new players, there's no real kind of concrete evidence or feeling of, yes, Salah goes away and we can just play a plug and play Ekitike or Isak and everything else will be fine. So, yeah, it is Arsenal's probably best chance to just kind of solidify themselves as the leaders in the pack.
That doesn't make for good listening. Doesn't make for good listening. Where then? All right, then, lads. I'm going to ask you very quickly. Where do Fulham see any joy, if anything, against this Arsenal team? I'll ask the Arsenal lads. Have you got weaknesses at the moment that's there to be exploited, just as a bit of a wayfinder?
Counter attack. They can do us on the counter attack. Ball over the top. They've done us before with it. They did us last season with a ball over the top. We're susceptible to, which is crazy with all that discipline. But a simple ball over the top, especially if they target the left back position. Calafiori likes to go wandering. We saw with Gabriel against Haaland that his hamstring isn't. He's lost 10% of pace. Didn't even try to keep up. He knew he couldn't. Which isn't his fault. That might come back in time, but grade 3 hamstrings, you're nearly guaranteed to lose about 10%. You know, Michael Owen's career went downhill after his. It's too much of an injury to ever be fully, especially for players like Saka who depend on a burst of pace. He hasn't been the same since that, and then he got the second one. But that's the simple thing, just a simple ball over the top. We could be done on that on the counter attack. We play quite a high line. And the only thing is, like, going into a game like this with Arsenal through the last 3 or 4 years, when it's pressure on, the only thing that can beat us is Arsenal, and we find a way a lot of the time. Because if you look at the Arteta press conference today, was, I mean, that was the worst one I've seen yet. That was outrageous. Like the guy's a psychopath. But the way he was talking. They've been laying the groundwork for getting Marino back in the squad. All the Harry Semius and all these guys have been going on about how great Marino is, and Arteta deserves credit for how well Marino plays for Spain. What do you mean? I mean, that just proves that he can't get a song out of him, but he's laying the groundwork for him to come in. So I do think it will be the 3 fridges in midfield again tomorrow. I think that's the groundwork that's been laid for that for Zubimendi, Royce, Marino, and that
Shane,
might catch us out.
Question, mate.
Mm-hmm.
So on my show, we've been saying Arteta's finally taken off the handbrake, but Errol said the same thing. It's like you can do it against West Ham, but in games like this is where we need to see it.
Yeah, no, look, the whole thing with starting it, like if you look at the West Ham game, right, you started with Eze and Odegaard and Rice in the 6. You thought, okay, great, this is what we're looking for, right? The second Odegaard went off, he went back with Zubimendi and pushed Rice forward again. So 20 minutes into it, he went right back and he had Wanyeri on the bench. The like for like, bring him in. It's West Ham at home. And even onto that Odegaard thing, I mean, the guy had done his ligaments and he made him play on for 15 minutes.
But Arsenal played better though when Zubimendi came on though, because Rice gets the goal.
In that game they did. To be fair. But if you look, the thing is with Rice, if you put Declan Rice in the 6, he's in the top 5 in the world for me, right? In the 6, he's in the top 5 in the world. Left 8, he's not in the top 20 in the world as a left 8. So it's still defensive. You can put Rice. The problem with it as well is when Rice is in the left 8, and I called this in the summer, and so did DJB. With Zubimendi, he gets caught on the ball a bit. Rice is having to do twice as much running, and he looks like he's running on fumes now because he's having to do so much running to cover for everybody else. And if he's
got some stamina on him, no, I'll give him that.
He is human, though. He is human. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he was at his back. He was at his back again against West Ham, and his back was troubled the year before. He played through a broken toe last year as well, which only came out after a while. So he is. So if he goes, the team falls apart. So he just needs to be a bit more careful with it.
God forbid you got to pull out the Real Sociedad pivot for an extended period of time.
Well, we've used it, yeah, and that's the thing. But this is I do have a sneaky feeling Marino will be in the team tomorrow, either up front for Gyökeres or in midfield. But
no way.
You know the Gyökeres stuff, yeah. Is it not 8 games in a row he's not scored in there, including?
7.
Yeah, well, yeah, and in the press conference today, it's
fine, lads. It's only 7. It's not 8. It's only 7.
No, I don't think it's.
No, I think it's 8 in all competitions. It's 6 in the league, right? But Arteta said today, and nobody questions him. This is amazing. This is why you guys are a lunatic, right? He's like a cult leader. He said, the first conversation I had with Gyökeres when I tried to sign him, I told him that I want a striker who can go 8 to 6 games not scoring and still want to play. He specifically said the 6 to 8 games. So they all take him serious.
That's Havertz then. That's Havertz then, ain't it?
Yeah. But he's laying the groundwork to get him back in, but he's also,
Havertz starts to be fit, man, in my opinion.
I was about to say,
Havertz is straight back in when he comes back, and most of the fan base have started to say, get him back in.
What's your opinion, Shane? What's your opinion on
that? For me, Havertz, never good enough. Never going to be good enough, especially now with the 2 injuries. He's had a grade 3 hamstring as well. You know what I mean? So he's never going to be right. But the problem with Gyökeres is
have a hamstring left.
We had 3 grade 3 hamstrings last season, and 3% of hamstring injuries are grade 3. They're the ones that ruined Michael Owen and all. These players that just run into the ground, man. I've said it, Errol. I've said it on this show many a time. I told you Ben White was done in. I've called all the players that are going to drop. But the thing is, yeah, with Gyökeres, he was the striker I wanted. I think he's class. He's not world class. He's class striker. There's not many world class strikers around. I'm quite strict with world class. I'll only hand that out, when it really, like Timber's world class at right back, and I'll say that all right. But it's just the system was never going to suit him. And we were on the roundabout with D and all these lads, and Dan went around in the summer and said, how many goals is he going to get? I was hearing 30 league goals and stuff. I was like, come on, man. I mean, Henry got 30 in the Invincible season. Van Persie got 30 that season when he couldn't miss. And I said he'd be lucky to get 15, and I got shot down. It's just the system doesn't suit him. And I'll finish on this. If you look at X, the way all the fans are always going for each other.
Sorry to put you there, Shane. Isn't Fulham away from home the archetypical game where you get somebody like Gyökeres and you say, that's why we've bought him. He will finish the 1-2 chances that we
100%.
It'll be a tough game. They're not going to give us anything easy. They won't make any mistakes. But having someone like him in the squad, and the starting 11 in particular, he'll be a difference maker. Surely that's why he was bought.
Yeah, well, you would think so, but he wasn't Arteta's man. Arteta wanted Sesko because he plays like Havertz. He drops deep and he's good in the air and all that stuff. I think Gyökeres has like 5 or 6 headed goals in his career, and the chances he's getting are with his head. And if you look on, like I said, on X, where all the fans are making compilations of, Isak misses and they're sending them to Liverpool fans, look at all his misses. They're not even doing it for Gyökeres because he doesn't have any misses, because he's just not getting any chances. He's getting 0 chances. Like, he's only really had couple of clear-cut chances and a penalty, and he's put them away when he's had them. But I think if he was at, even at Palace or something like that, he'd have more goals. If he had someone like Glasner building the team around him, he'd have more goals. And I feel for him. I feel for him because the system will never suit him. It will never suit him. And he's not very good at a lot of things, but what he is one of the best in the world at is running the channels and finishing.
Says you're laughing. Do you want to come to Gyökeres's defense also?
No, I'm good.
It was the sentence of he's not very good at a lot of things.
Yeah, that's what got me.
No, but he's not though. It's like Haaland's not very good at a lot of things, but he's one of the best in the world at finishing. You know what I mean? He's not good at a lot of things, but he's one of the best in the world at finishing. And we're not playing
just on that point of Haaland though. I think his game's massively improved. I'm not gonna lie.
Over this summer.
Yeah, it has this season. Yeah,
it's just the way you're describing Gyökeres is how I described Nunes for like 3 years. Going, he's not good at an awful lot.
But he's better than Nunes. He's better than Nunes now. I'll give him that. He's a better finisher. No, look, he's one of the best finishers in the world, but he's only got certain few things in his locker. Is what I'm trying to say. And you need to play his strengths. And we're trying to make him play like something that he's not. And that's all.
Yeah, the difference is with Højlund is though Højlund has got time on his side. Gyökeres has been bought in with the specific purpose of this is the season. You're a win now striker for us. So if Arteta's not using
Arteta didn't want him though. We all know who Arteta wanted.
He didn't want Eze either.
But hey, no, I always hear about Berta madness and all of that. So I don't care if Arteta wanted him or not. He's at the club, bro.
Use him.
And he plays. It's not like Arteta leaves him out. He plays.
Exactly.
Well, it's because someone else might not be fit at the moment, mate.
Yeah, and he basically let it slip that Havertz would have started if he had been fit.
But this is a massive opportunity for him to say, in those games that we've just earmarked as ones where you should, and for the fact that Havertz returns round the corner, if Gyökeres isn't putting in a shift, isn't sweating his balls off, and isn't ready to score and break that little duck that he's in at the moment, it might malign him out of the first team as and when Havertz does come back to full fitness. So I think tomorrow is a big game for, not necessarily maybe for in where Arsenal concerned, but in terms of him, his confidence and his prospects of holding down that spot through the middle, it could be a massive game for somebody like Gyökeres tomorrow. Lads, does anybody not see Arsenal winning tomorrow? Anyone see them dropping points?
Comfortable Arsenal win.
Yeah.
I'd like to say Raul Jimenez has something for them, but it's not 2019.
He might even be fit.
No.
Is Raul Jimenez even fit? Because their last game will be post 9, and that's not going to trouble Saliba.
He ain't been fit for 4 years, to be fair.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Do you know what? Last season he had a little spell where he was fit again, and he was back to his usual self. But yeah, it's a big
last season. Jimenez got like 13 goals or something.
Yeah.
He has these one-off seasons, don't he? Jimenez? He can't sort of carry it on.
No, but he's quality. I swear he's quality.
Yeah.
He can get that goal out of nowhere sometimes, can't he?
Yeah, I like him.
He can be a real handful, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got Arsenal down as comfortable winners. Obviously, we don't know what City are going to do, but none of us can control that. If we start to look forward to Sunday, the big one, I'm going to ask the Arsenal guys down the middle first. I'll come to Connor. Sunday, are you? I don't know what that might have been. The dogs, Connor. Are you asking for a favour this early in the season? Are you hoping that Manchester United have got something for you on Sunday?
Bro, like, I don't even think it's about him asking a favour for them. Like, United are that team where, like last year as well, they'll have the worst season that you've ever seen in your history, and they'll still put in a performance against us and you and City. Obviously, they got walked over by City earlier on, but I don't even think that game, right? I've seen a lot of people say how they got absolutely mullered. They didn't. City just didn't miss. It actually wasn't a bad performance from United.
Nah, sorry, brother. Sorry, I'm gonna stop you right there. It was absolutely shocking, bro. It was shocking. I'm not allowing it. Just because City didn't have to leave first gear. Literally, that's how bad it was. It's not because I'm not saying City were amazing, but United were that shit that City didn't have to be good. We were shocking, bro. We were absolutely shocking.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry.
No. We'll have that. You got to talk from a place of passion as well. I don't. But now, unfortunately, and I've said how many times on here, even as an Arsenal fan, it annoys me seeing United in the place that they were because I grew up with them being one of the greatest teams, and it's confusing seeing the players that you have, and they just don't. In my head, they're not United players. Liverpool against United now is not a game that I think we look at as Arsenal fans at the start of the season going, like this is a big match that can change the direction. Liverpool against United is like Liverpool against Brentford. or like Liverpool against Bournemouth. And I hate saying that because United are such a big club and a big dynasty, but for the last few seasons, they've become a mid-table club. I don't think this game is as big as an impact.
It might feel like that from Liverpool's perspective, watching them play everybody else in the season. I don't know about you, Jamie, but from where I sit sometimes watching us play Manchester United, I can't help but get the feeling that they somehow drag us down to their level. They never play out of their skin and make, and play amazing and make us play at our best. But there's something where they just nullify some of the real quality that we've got within our side, and they drag us down to low possession play. It's just hoofball a little bit. There's no real pattern, there's no rhythm.
Everyone goes back to last year. Last year it happened because a certain right back had his head in Madrid and decided to be a fucking dickhead all game. And
centre back had his head in Madrid now too as well, bro. So you got the same problem.
I will have you know that Joseph Gomez is fully fit for this game. And he's
not playing, Tom.
Fully fit or Gomez fully fit? There's a difference.
I just, look.
I can't. But last year, like
but it's not just last year, though. It's not just last year, though.
You know the mad one.
Let's be honest. We've done it again when Klopp was there. How many wins has Klopp had over United?
Yeah, we played the occasion and not the team, didn't we?
Yeah.
We played the occasion.
The amount of times we
could have 7-0. When we beat 7-0,
there's always that, and I like the 7-0.
Yeah, in that 7-0 Errol, we didn't actually play that well.
No, we just killed every chance that we had off.
That was the mad thing. We did like in the first half. It was quite even, wasn't it?
United just gave up.
No, so you look at the recent games. You look at the recent games. You had in Klopp's last season, we played them 3 times and didn't win any of them. The 0-0, Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz have an open goal and kick each other.
Yeah.
The FA Cup game. The FA Cup game. Núñez passes it to Rashford when we're 3-2 up. And they score, and then this is on a counter attack from a corner because Harvey Elliott doesn't shoot. And then the 2-2, Darwin Núñez. I've said his name 3 times because in every single game he was a fucking problem. He has an open goal and tries to pass it across goal to no one. Last year, the 2-2, the right back, as his head in Madrid, comes out months later and says, "I don't even remember playing the game." I fucking do. You were wank. And I hammer him in the one good tactical decision he's ever made as Manchester United manager. Went, you know what we'll do? Let's just boot every long ball down his side. And Trent won none of them. He won 0. And we couldn't do anything because he couldn't win anything. And United just kept having an outlet. The one game last year, albeit it was Ten Hag, but again, Ten Hag, we couldn't beat him 3 times the previous year. The one game we had them was where Arnie Slot had a right back who had his head in the game and got to tactically play how he wanted, and we played it off the park and won 3-0. So I'm not...
Do you think we can emulate that, though?
Last year we drew at Anfield, no?
The Old Trafford one.
The Old Trafford game at the beginning of the season. At the beginning of the season.
Maguire should have won it at the end as well, shouldn't he? Maguire missed an open goal at the end as well in the 2-2, didn't he?
In the 2-2, because once again, I don't even think he was on the pitch at that point. I'm still going to blame him. The right back probably played him on side. That was about all he was good for that game.
Jamie,
angry at that, mate.
I've never been more livid with the Liverpool players' performance. The only game that's ever got me closer was Lovren versus West Ham in like 2016, and I've shown you that game, Jamie. Some of the shit he done in that game was meant.
We went through
that's the only game that brought it close.
Not even Karius. Not even Karius. We're going down the rabbit hole.
Karius got concussion. He can get it by.
Yeah, I'm not giving him not.
Adriana against Atletico as well. That one goes up there as well.
We've had some howlers, but Jamie, can we emulate what Tom's saying there? Can we emulate what Slot did at Old Trafford last season? Can we play? And one thing that I think has been missing from a lot of Liverpool's play, I know someone said before that we've not played. I think it was Tom even said we've not played good in any game so far this season. Can we add enough game management that enables us to navigate our way through the game unscathed and stops United from really getting any real joy out of our defence?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Yeah, I'm hoping the international break has actually done Liverpool a favour. But when I listen to Slot's press conference, I think he's just going to go about it the same way. But I think, look, I know a lot of people have blamed Slot this season for a lot of things, but I think a lot of the players have got to take a lot of it as well. We all watch every game, and the players are not taking the best of their opportunities that come available to them either. So they got to start, doing better as well. But Yeah, the Man United games. I on the week of a Man United game, I don't know about you guys, I'm always very confident. And then when it gets to a day or two out, I get a bit nervy. And then when the game actually kicks off, I'm like, oh, shit. It's like that. I don't like them. I hate them. I can't stand them because it's just your arch rivals, ain't it? It's your arch rivals. You know, it's not comfortable. The only time I think I've ever been so comfortable in a Liverpool Man United game is the 5-0 at Old Trafford. That was it the Salah hat trick and that was the one I was, because we played excellent for the whole 90 minutes. In fact, for the last
the 4-0 last season was, I think the 4-0 last season was the better game.
the 3-0 one. Is that the 3-0?
No, it was 4, wasn't it?
Is it 4? I can't remember. But yeah, the nervy games. I just, my worry about Liverpool right now is they struggle against teams that play 3 at the back. We do struggle. I do remember under Klopp as well, we always struggled with teams at 3 at the back as well. It's like our kryptonite. And we do struggle about it. So,
do we play 3 or 5 though?
That was about to come to you. I was about to come to you, man. Just now, I'm going to ask you this: is this the best time to be playing Liverpool right now after the international on a bit of a downturn in form? From a United's perspective, does it get a better opportunity for you, man, to get a big result?
And please factor in your team as well here. Let's not just act like this is a blanket statement. It's like X team. This is Manchester United that are coming here.
Yeah, obviously, I think the thing is, regardless of whether United are in form or playing well or not playing well, it's difficult. United don't necessarily go to Anfield and really turn it on and kind of dominate. The game's always override by the occasion, or, you know, some players find it difficult to get the game going and they just kind of make it through the game without doing anything daft. I mean, the only time I can remember where United actually went to Anfield and dominated the game was when Juan Mata turned Anfield into Juanfield for the day, and that was the only time I was 2014-15 where that happened, and then again United won again the season after when Rooney scored, and it was 1-0. But apart from that, even when United have been in decent form, I remember the COVID one when you had Henderson and Fabinho centre back, and that was a chance for United to go top of the league, and we drew 0-0, and Rashford couldn't stay onside for the whole game. So it doesn't really matter in terms of what position and what shape United come into it. In terms of Liverpool, it'll be interesting to see what mentality Liverpool approach the game, because I think if United play all right and lose, people are just going to be like, oh, it's Anfield. If Liverpool don't play well and they don't win, the pressure is going to be compounded a lot more, especially you got Champions League midweek, whereas United just kind of go again, and we're in this kind of lull. Obviously, from my perspective, I always want to try and win, but it's difficult and under Amorim, we don't tend to beat teams who aren't promoted or 10 men. So unless Liverpool get
win back-to-back games,
and that too.
Well, yeah, this is a big opportunity, Shells. Back-to-back games is on the line, dog. What are you saying? Do you think this is a good opportunity to play Liverpool, or do you agree with Tessa in the sense it doesn't really make much of a difference?
I've seen us in our Sir Alex Ferguson era come to Anfield. It was never comfortable then. It's never been comfortable. We ain't won since 2015, bro. Yeah, like you've alluded to, the Liverpool games that they've lost have been away from home. Anfield's a different ball game, man. I'll bite your hand off right now for a 0-0 stinker. I'll bite your hand off. Yeah. Taking it. Listen, this ain't the same Man United, bro. I've got to be realistic where my team is. Do you know what I'm saying? If we get a point at Anfield, that's a good point. We can build on that. If we lose again, yeah, it's going to the same thing again. We wait a week and then we have to go again and we play, I don't know, Brighton or something. I'm tired of it. Give us some momentum. A draw gives you momentum. A loss, you're back to square one. So yes, it is in the ideal world, it is the best time to play Liverpool because you've lost 3 games, but that also works against us because I'm expecting a huge reaction now. There's no, I can't see where you lose 4 games in a bounce and you lose to Manchester United at Anfield.
So, well, Tom made that obviously the 3 games, even though he was on the road, he would still expected to get points from those games. Are any of you overly surprised that Liverpool lost to the games on the bounce, or are you starting to see, you know, cracks potentially starting to emerge in this Liverpool team system setup, whatever Slot's kind of building at the minute? Is it showing you signs of encouragement from a United standpoint that, again, Liverpool are frail, but obviously as the Arsenal lads looking at it, are you looking at it thinking, actually, it doesn't matter how great we are, as long as we can just keep accumulating points, Liverpool are going to drop enough points anyway?
I think I'll go on that just quickly and then I'll move on. Sorry. I think the biggest issue with Liverpool currently is because you've signed two massive superstars, and one of them hasn't really been fit, and he's trying to catch up his fitness, and the other one, Wirtz, is meant that Liverpool's midfield functions in a completely different way. And I think Slot hasn't been able to find the right balance, especially when you haven't got the ball. Like, how does the team defend? Because even though Szoboszlai last season wasn't really great in terms of goals and assists, what he would do is plug the gaps. He'd know when to drop into the midfield, cover on the right when Salah pushes on, or cover on the left if Gakpo pushes or Diaz pushes on. And I think Wirtz isn't at that level yet. So I think from that position, it's going to be that's what the conundrum is. And then you've signed Ekitike, who in people's minds was the 9. Then Isak came in, and everyone's like, Isak's now the guy. People are talking about playing all of them. I don't know whether you can play Isak, Ekitike, Wirtz, and Salah at the same time.
It can't be any worse than what we've done so far.
It's true, but it's just then the balance, because then your fullbacks as well.
I'm not even so worried about the balance on that one. I'm just worried about what happens if it doesn't work. That seems to be like a break glass solution now. And if those 4 don't work on the pitch at the same time, do you really then look and turn to a Cody Gakpo off the benches, and maybe Federico Chiesa, who's your only
Whoa. You think Arnie Slot's going to turn to Federico Chiesa?
No.
Errol, I honestly believe Slot's got to try and work out a way of getting Ekitike and Isak together on the pitch.
I agree with that sentiment. I do agree with that sentiment massively. But at the same time, it's like, what happens? So if they do and it doesn't work, or they're a little bit more frustrated and they're not able to create as much chances or offer that much, what else is the other option then that we turn to on the bench? How do we then look at the bench and say, right, we can pick this person, or we can change it a little bit? I just feel like he just leaves himself. He puts too much focus on them to deliver, and it could work. Don't get me wrong, and he could just hit the ground running. But if they don't, all of
you need something to come off the bench, don't you?
It's funny,
and I think when I look at Ekitike,
the options we got off the bench have performed this year. So like when Chiesa's come off the bench, he's scored or provided an impact. When Rio's come off the bench, he's always been bright. He scored against Newcastle. He's always been a threat. Gakpo, he can't be worse off the bench than he is starting.
Gakpo's never been good.
That's my mindset with it.
The thing.
That's what I'm thinking from Jamie's perspective. He's right.
I think if Cody's going, he has to start games, because I don't think he's got the same impact when he comes off the bench. The one thing I will say about Ekitike coming off the bench, he always looks like he's got something to prove. Because it is that signing, I think he's a bit, peed off about it, and he wants to prove he's a better player than him. So I think you could use that to your advantage with having Ekitike on the bench and bringing him on. Because I think Isak will start. I think he has to start. Otherwise, didn't Slot just say that he's had his pre-season now because of the international break? So with him saying that tells me he's going to start. He's going to start.
Amongst other things, Klopp said in that press conference, which bothered me.
Lads down the middle, I'll come to you again, Declan. Is this a must not lose for Amorim? Or is there no pressure on Amorim in this situation right now? Because say Jim Ratcliffe's coming out saying, I'm looking to give my man 3 years regardless. He's just got 3 years of pure grace, so it doesn't matter the results. But surely a drubbing at Anfield is never any good for your, for your standing as a manager at United.
It's anything to worry about. I think, especially going to Anfield, because if he gets beat by Liverpool, they're going to look and go, it's Liverpool.
They should never. United should never look and just go. It's Liverpool.
But we're not looking at the fans. We're looking at the ownership. The people
giving
this man his job, and like you said, Ratcliffe coming out saying we're giving him this time. If you go to the home of the champions and you lose, you've gone to the home of the champions and you lose. But they West Ham and got smashed.
You can pull out the price tag then as well. Like, these lot spent how much this summer? We couldn't compete with that. We just had to turn up and do our best. Sid Jim is, for lack of a better term, cocked it all up by saying he'll give Amorim X amount of years, because now Amorim has no pressure on him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't buy it, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
No.
Can I just say one thing? When a manager's usually being briefed about his future and they've been asking questions, there's something behind it. If you think Amrin's not under pressure, bro, if United were to get beaten 4, 5, 6 at Anfield, there will be huge pressure.
Yeah.
I'm not buying the 3 years things. Like, we see this stuff so much. It's a bit like managers' press conference.
I get what you're saying. 3 years though. But there's the line that they go to. So they'll always go, the manager's got our full support. And it's very vague and very sort of blanket like that. They don't normally come out and go, oh yeah, we hired this manager, know it's going to be a project and we are going to give him 3 years at a minimum to build this team up.
In the interview, though, the 3 years was given to him. The interviewer said, "Will you give him the 3 years?" And he said, "Yes." It wasn't. He didn't just pull the number out of the sky. Yeah. So the 3 years was said to him. That's why they don't show you that part. The interviewer said, "So will you give him the 3 years?" He said, "Yeah." And then he used Arteta as a look what happened with Mikel Arteta, and he went on to that thing. But with Ratcliffe being a businessman and not wanting to sack him, right? I wouldn't be at all surprised if he's sitting there thinking, I think this guy wants to get fired. I think he's had it here. I think he wants to get fired. So if I tell him that he's staying for 3 years, no matter what, he might just leave. I wouldn't put it past him to do that either. But I think going into that United game, that there's a lot more pressure on Liverpool. Yeah. Because if Liverpool don't win, it's not a blip anymore. You know what I mean? Then it is a real problem.
Especially
even if they draw.
Especially
at home. But if they go and stick 3 or 4 past United and Isak gets one of them, and it's all forgotten. It was just a little stumble. But if they don't win, the pressure suddenly on Amarin is kind of a free hit unless he gets absolutely annihilated. Then questions will be asked. But either Ratcliffe was just trying to calm the fans down, thinking that they might start protesting soon, and just said, "Look, he's here for 3 years," and just got, "There's no point." You know what I mean? It could be something as simple as that. But like I said, that was handed to him. And someone mentioned earlier, it is kind of sad to see United where they are. I said that on my show, and people are all laughing. No, it's great. Let them have their, look, it is funny, but when you think back to what they were, they're in the position now where the mythical story of where we were when Arteta took over. That's the way we're told we were in that situation.
Shane, sorry to interrupt. I genuinely think, sorry, Shane, I have to say, because I'm so tired of Man United fans comparing what Arteta's done to Amarin. Like, it's not even close. It's not.
No, we weren't in that position.
You weren't. You was never in that position.
No, we had just finished fifth.
Something to work with, and your squad was absolutely shit. Sorry, go on, mate. Go on.
Right.
Yeah, no, we had just finished fifth, and we just got to a European final. And they will say, what they do is the way they word it. They go, "Oh, do you want to go back to when we finished 8th?" Right? And you go, "Well, that was Arteta that finished 8th, and then he finished 8th again the next season, and didn't get Europe for the first time in a quarter of a century." Right? So it wasn't Emery. And the other thing is, they go, "Do you want to go back to having players like Kolasinac and Mustafi?" The players they don't mention that were in the squad are Emi Martinez, future World Cup winning goalkeeper, Kieran Tierney, Bukayo Saka, Lacazette, Aubameyang, Ozil, Guendouzi, Xhaka. There was a lot of good players in the team. He just got rid of them. And they're the ones that won him an FA Cup. So it enrages Arsenal fans like myself when this myth that Emery was going to get us relegated and we were in this horrible position and all of this. I think he had dropped to it was about 8th place. And it was only in November. He didn't even get a full second season or even half a season. So we are not even close to where United are in proper trouble. We weren't in that trouble. We were all right. We just finished 5th and got to a European final. Yeah, we got smacked by Chelsea, but it wasn't as bad as people say. And all those youth players are coming through. Saka, Smith Rowe, all these guys were coming through. So it wasn't even close. The Liverpool that Klopp took over was a lot worse than what we had. Oh, yeah. We pulled up the 2 teams before on Lee's channel. We pulled up the Arsenal's first 11 under Arteta and Klopp's. And Klopp had like Milner at left back and Joe Allen, and there was a load of shambles in the team. He walked into
our first game. I done it today on Coppish. Our first lineup, we had Milner starting right wing in the great year of 2015. We had a centre back partnership of Skrtel and Sacco.
Yep.
Moreno was at left back. A pivot of Lucas and Emre Can. Mm-hmm. And our bench, because the bench is probably the worst bit, we had 1 senior pro on the bench in Kolo Toure. Yep. You had Conor Randall, Jordan Ibe, Ty Shearer, and Jerome Sinclair. That was his options off the bench. Like our squad was crap that year.
You know what?
It was devastating.
It just hit me. Two quick points just to kind of back up my thing about me thinking that Amorim has no pressure on him was when he came out and said, if they want to change, they're going to have to sack me. I'm not going to change. That's Brett. You know you're safe. And also, was it like 6 weeks ago? And I think, Tez, me and you spoke about it after football, that Amorim had a worse record than Gary Neville at Valencia. And it's got worse since then. And he's still there.
So what you're telling me is Amorim's a record-breaking manager?
Yeah.
He has a worse record than 70, 73, 74 when they went down.
You know the scary thing, though? I believe Liverpool and Man United have got the same record after the last 5 games. I think their form is the same.
I actually want United to beat you lot because the next run of games, apart from Brian, ain't too bad. And that lad can finally cut his head.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, win 5 games in a row. He's gonna turn into a Rasta, bro. I'm telling you.
I found it so funny with him. At the start of the season, and they were going like, "Oh, when do you think it's gonna happen?" And he went, "Oh, I picked out this run because there'll be like 2 or 3 Carabao Cup games in this run." And they got knocked out the first round. They didn't have games anymore.
He was going December, January, wasn't he?
One thing I will say is though, the one thing for me, and I think Shane touched on it before, is obviously it's not a blip. If Liverpool struggle to win at home at Anfield against this United side, it's well, I don't know if it's full-blown crisis, but we have to start to be a little bit more realistic.
It's a crisis.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think it's a crisis.
I'm not 100%
mini
sure
crisis, a mini crisis.
It might be a mini crisis. Okay, we'll settle on a mini crisis. But the point I'm trying to make is, I am really intrigued to see, can Liverpool win this midfield battle? Because on this show and on shows that I've watched and other Man United fans that I've spoken about, they have all come out and commented on how poor United's midfield is. One of the worst midfields in the league. Bruno's got no discipline. You know, there's no legs alongside him. They've showed us so many different reasons as to why their midfield doesn't work. And at this moment in time, I am not wholly convinced that Liverpool's midfield works, but I do still believe we've got better natural midfielders in there with the extra man. So we should be winning that. Even if we're on a bad day, we should still be winning that midfield battle. In the event that we don't, that's what I'm going to be more worried about. I'll be honest, as a Liverpool fan, that's what I'm going to be losing.
If we lose a midfield battle to Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes as a double pivot,
and that's why Sabozai is going to play right back.
Well, McAllister played really well the other day. McAllister for me, he's your most important player. So.
He's got to travel back from South America, though, Shane.
I don't think McAllister
back from South America.
I don't think McAllister start.
Exactly. I don't think he starts because usually when he travel that far back, he doesn't like to start them. And the other thing I think why McAllister's having a little bit of a stinker so far this season, he's lost his South American comrades. Those boys, Diaz and Nunes, going, whether they was great on the pitch or not, to have somebody to have somebody in the city that you vibe with, that you're on your same wavelength, with the language barriers isn't as difficult, and you can still.
He's half Scottish. He can hang around with Robertson, man.
I mean, he could if he was.
Robbo would be the most annoying person to hang around with.
especially a heartbroken Robbo after he's just lost Trent. It's going to be a tough time. So I just want us to win that midfield battle. I'm asking you, lads, is that where the game's going to be won and lost?
You can just do what you done last year, and it's again why I harp back to the game at Old Trafford. All Arne Slot done was say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put Gravenberch and Szoboszlai on your pivot because your pivot's not very good. So when they get the ball, I've got my 2 most athletic midfielders pressing you, closing you down. You're going to make mistakes. And what happened? Casemiro shit the bed twice.
Yeah, but
they are still playing Casemiro.
That was different. Man,
the pivot had a lot more of the ball than the Ten Hag, I agree.
Yeah, and again, in that game specifically, what Ten Hag did, which was criminal, was as soon as the goalkeeper played it into Casemiro, it was Mazraoui and Dalot on the day. He wanted them to push up, to almost gamble to receive the ball high, and then anytime Casemiro.
Can you do that again this time?
I think United are just going to sit deep and let Liverpool have the ball. I think that's Liverpool's major weakness is when they have. Liverpool's major weakness is when they have too much possession.
That's why I was saying game management before. Yeah, that's why I was saying game management.
I actually I don't think United will sit back and allow Liverpool to have the ball. We will naturally, because when we don't have the ball, we will drop into the five. But I think what Errol was saying, and I said it when I was on the Anfield Wrap yesterday as well. Even though some people didn't agree, I actually think the game's won and lost at fullback or wing back, because I think if United go into this is why it's quite difficult for Amram, because if he goes into the game and starts with Ahmad on one side and Dallo or Dogu on the other side, his intention will be when we have the ball to get them high and try and get them 1v1 with whoever plays at fullback for Liverpool. The issue is then if you're then in a positive position, I know in Amram's mind he'll be thinking, I need to take off Ahmad, and then doing that means then United then retreat and we sit back and then we invite pressure on. I think what we did,
same thing, Tezo.
Yeah. What we did against Sunderland, which was slightly a little bit different, was we tried to press in a 4-4-2. So Ahmad was on one side, and Mount, who will start. I don't think Cunha starts. Mount will be on the other side. And that makes us a little bit more solid. And it means that even if we're not amazing at pressing, we have two players who block off the other sides. Whereas in other games, we've been pressing with Sesko and Cunha and Mbeumo as a 3. And the midfield, there's loads of space either side.
I have to say this.
Yeah, go for it.
Just on this point, yeah, you make such a huge statement because we've only done this 4-4-2 approach at home, bro. I've been there at Old Trafford twice this season, and they've done it twice at Old Trafford. When we're away, we don't seem to set up in a 4-4-2, but this is my problem with Amarin's system because every elite team sets up in a 4-4-2 when they're defending. It eliminates the gaps all of a sudden, and we don't have that huge missing of the basis of the strike and defense. We don't have that no more when you line up in a 4-4-2. So that's Amarin's test. Is Amarin going to be positive? That's what I'm saying as well, because I don't want to see us playing a Mazzari. I don't want us to see Ahmad and Mbeumo have to start on that right side. They have to. We want any chance in this game. We have to take care of our business, and we have to give Liverpool something to worry about. If we play a fullback there, Gakpo can play as high as he wants, whoever it is on that side. So we have to give them something going back there because, like you said, their fullbacks ain't great. Conor Bradley, let's be real. What's going on with Conor Bradley? He's not the level Liverpool fans think he is. Let's keep a spade a spade. He's not. At this stage of his career, he's not. Frimpong was put in as a right wing back.
Wiped out Mbappe last year.
He's not an out and out right back. He's better off. Most of his good work for Leverkusen came higher up the pitch. To a point even where Slot played him right mid against Galatasaray.
What, he played right wing for the Netherlands in midweek?
There you go. So there's like you said, bro. There's so much.
I've actually had no problem with him defensively.
Say that again.
I've had no problem with Frimpong defensively.
I think he's been all right at right back, yeah.
Frimpong's biggest problem for us so far has been when he gets the ball, he can't fucking pass.
Can't use it.
His passing is horrendous.
I think Frimpong will play right back against United because of his pace.
And do you think Szoboszlai goes back into the middle then?
I think I don't think Matt starts. I think if he starts McAllister, Szoboszlai play right back because at this moment in time, I can't see an honest slot Liverpool team without Szoboszlai in it.
No,
I think Slot looks at Szoboszlai as like one of his main players now. So if you're playing McAllister, if you're playing Grav, McAllister, and Wirtz, I think Szoboszlai goes into that right back area.
I have a weird feeling that Dominic Szoboszlai at right back is like part of Arne Slot's new long-term plan.
I think Szoboszlai could end up being right back for Liverpool for longevity.
I think what he's going to end up trying to do, especially in the summer, once we end up buying the DM we should have bought this summer, is Gravenberch will get pushed up the pitch.
Yeah.
The DM will sit, and then he'll have Kerkez will then have the license to go forwards because the DM has more positional discipline. Szoboszlai will tuck inside and form the pivot and try and make up the passing that the Rat used to have, and then he can play Ekitike off the left then. More so because with the wing back pushing dead high up, the left wing can tuck inside and operate as more of a 10, which is the way Ekitike wants to play football. So yeah, that's what I said. I have a weird worry that Szoboszlai will be the long term right back solution because I think Frimpong was like we can buy him, and I could try it as this way, and if it works, it's mega. I could try,
But Tom, what has Frimpong? What has Slot said about Frimpong? I think Slot considers Frimpong more of a right winger because when he does mention him, he does mention him as the right winger replacement for Mo, don't he? More than the right back.
And that's brilliant, but watching
if you put Szoboszlai right back, it was. But if you play Szoboszlai right back, that means you can push Frimpong higher up the pitch than Conor Bradley's his own. With McCall, because I think when I look at Liverpool are best defensively when it's McAllister and Gravenberch in that double pivot. Because defensively, they're our best midfielders. And you've got to have Szoboszlai on the pitch because he's our best presser of a midfielder, I would say. He's also our runner and our legs. I also think he gets the best out of Mo Salah as well, because if Mo Salah's not going to track back, you need legs on that right hand side and stamina and an engine that can go for 90 minutes, and that's Szoboszlai. So I think that's why he plays him right back. So I can see that being the future. I really can. It's like Valverde. Like Valverde at Real Madrid does the same. I've always linked Szoboszlai and Valverde as very similar style of players, because if you look at Valverde at Real Madrid, he fills in everywhere. He'll play central midfield. He plays right back a lot. You know, he'll play in positions because he's the workhorse of that team.
Yeah, but
Szoboszlai's our workhorse.
The superstars in midfield. If you're gonna now be putting Szoboszlai right back to play McAllister in midfield, and Frimpong's now your right winger, then I think your transfer dealings have been horrific. Honestly,
if I've got to watch Frimpong right wing for any extended period of time, I'm questioning what the fuck
I wouldn't want to do it personally. I want Frimpong to play every game at right back. I think he should play, but yeah, I just think he loves Szoboszlai, man. I can't see him not playing any football.
Well, it doesn't work without Szoboszlai at the minute.
No,
I actually think Isak and TK both will start.
I don't think they'll both start. What should happen is Arne Slot should pick what midfield he wants. If he wants the creativity because he thinks that Casemiro and Fernandes can't cover the half space as well, you go Vert, and that in turn means you have to go Isak. If he wants to go for, the midfield that is tried and tested and he knows can put in a solid 7, 8 out of 10, which will be Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, and either one of Jones or McAllister, it has to be Ekitike, because if you put Isak with that lineup, he's too isolated. If you put Ekitike with Verts, they run into each other. Right now, they don't work together.
Sorry to interrupt you, bro, but you got to allow partnerships to form. This thing, like I said to Errol just on my channel just 2 days ago, it's like, usually when you win a title, you don't associate with signing that many players. You've got a lot of players to bed in and gel. Do you know what I'm saying? So until it's easy to say, this won't work, but you got to give it a chance as well. It's only been 7 games. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of my whole thing with Liverpool and where they're at now. I just think like there was so much change when there didn't need to be. And some for obvious reasons, but you can't control. RIP, condolences, and obviously the Trent stuff. But yeah, I just think there's too much change right now, and Liverpool need to find what made you guys successful last sean, and that was a consistent side. Once you get a consistent side, you hit the nail
on the head there. Consistency.
Once you get a consistent side again, and the players learn their attributes and where their tendencies are, and they start forming relationships, you guys will be all right. But right now, it's just not there yet.
I think United have a chance to cause an upset, man. Not even like a win, but just to draw.
I'll take that, bro.
Well,
I'll take
it. As long as you don't play Shaw and Maguire in that back three, I think you're going to be sound.
Yeah, you got to play Shaw as a centre-back now, don't you?
Yeah.
Apparently.
Salah might be all right then.
It's time for some match predictions.
With Maguire, his face should have to be blurred out before the 10 o'clock watershed as well. And my kids to be watching that shit,
I swear, if Maguire starts, bro, we're cooked. If Maguire starts, we're cooked.
If Maguire and Shaw start at the same time, then
so
it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
I'll bet on a 4-0, bro. You get me? Just to make myself feel better.
Right, let's go for the score predictions then. Shane, the Liverpool-Manchester United game this weekend. It's the big one. What are you saying?
4-0 Liverpool.
Whoa.
Boy, big score that I'll take.
I think they're going to absolutely pound them.
I haven't even said this all stream. It's my birthday, so come Sunday, blood. I don't care. I do not care.
It's your birthday, United Liverpool game.
Yeah.
You never mentioned that before.
Bro, shut up, right? I'm just saying. I can't. This weekend, I can't be on the losing side. Shane, shout out your channel as well. Give us a shout out. Give us a plug.
Yeah, Shane Gooner, live every morning at 10:30, every morning of the week for the full Irish breakfast. And then I have tonight, actually, at 10 o'clock, I have a members-only stream, which I'll be doing for about an hour at 10 o'clock. And on Sunday night, I have a new show that I'm doing called Off Topic. I have the likes of Jez and Matty and stuff on it, where Not talking about anything current in football. We don't want to get into it. It's just certain topics this week is what makes a world-class player, which is something that's very close to our heart. So we're just going to have a good old football conversation about that. But lots of stuff on the channel. It's all lined up. I'm always streaming somewhere or other. You'd swear I don't have a job. But yeah, 10:30 tomorrow morning. Full Irish breakfast or the member stream if you're a member.
Top man, I appreciate you joining. I appreciate it. Connor, give us your score prediction and then let us know where we can watch some of your content.
United, Liverpool, go stick £1 on it. 1-1. 1-1 draw. Like a Fernandez penalty or something. No, not Fernandez because he can't. They're going to kick him off penalties. But yeah, all relevant channels, CDL, Arsenal. I've been doing a lot more long form stuff, doing like recaps of the weekend's games and European games and just sitting down with a cup of coffee and just talking and getting my thoughts out. And yeah, just trying to upload short form every single day, which is tough, but we're trying.
Good lad. Keep it going, keep going. I'll go to the United lads first. Tezza, go on, give us your score prediction. I'm trying to end on a high. My days last.
So difficult. I think Liverpool win 1-0. I think Liverpool win 1-0 because I just don't trust Amarin, and I don't see the game state United if it's a draw, us going out and going, let's go and nick it. I think we retreat under pressure too much on Liverpool win 1-0.
Okay. Shout out your channel, Tezza, where people find your content.
X, not TikTok as much yet, but there will be some stuff. I'm actually gonna do United Liverpool preview. And it'll be out tomorrow as well.
Still doing your dad jokes?
They will come.
Yeah,
I do things in bulk. I don't do things every day. I do things in bulk and then I go, so they'll come. But yeah, and yeah, Teskey on everything. That's the same.
All right. Blessings. Shells, are you going to stick with the draw? Or has anybody convinced you that United can get the job done?
Nah, man, I'm sticking with draw. And that's copium as well. Pure hopium. I mean, but listen, man, I'm not going to be here. I'm never going to predict my team to lose, especially against you, man. You get me? We'll see on Sunday. But big up. Thanks for having me, man. You can follow me on Matchday shows, you know what I'm saying, on all platforms. I'm going to be doing my first live as well. You guys see me very calm on camera. So I'm going to have to keep it together watching the Amarin team. But yeah, so if you want to watch me, come over here, you know what I'm saying, join the channel, Matchday shows. Appreciate you.
All right, big up, bro. Jamie Phillips, talk to me, brother. I need some optimism before my weekend starts. So what are you saying, score predictions?
5-2 Liverpool, man. 5-2
5-2.
Yeah. I think the international break's done the boys good.
You got to concede 2 to United.
Yeah, because we always concede. You know,
I was going to say I'm giving us the conceding as well.
5-2, man. I think the players apparently played exceptionally well in international duty. I think international duty came at the right time for Liverpool. I actually think if Man United played Liverpool straight after our last game without international break, I think we might have been in trouble. But because the international break came up, I think that's gave us a nice little break, and the players will be refreshed and ready to go. And I just feel like I think because it's at Anfield, I think we're just going to go straight at them as soon as the whistle blows. So I'm going 5-2, man. And yeah, you can find me at Liverpool Chats TV. I had a little rebrand over on my channel. So
yeah, you see that. Make sure you do. Make sure you're following everybody on the show as well, please, people. Thank you very much for everybody in the comments. Thank you very much for the panel. Finally, before we wrap it up, Tom Little, go on.
Tom's going
go
6-1.
big. Go big.
You fuck it. That's exactly what I was going for.
No way.
6-1. I was going to say 6-1. 6-1.
6-1.
6-1.
I'll give you a. I don't know what I'll give you, but
I'll give you a
bill.
When he got 7-0 correct, you'll never get a normal prediction out of him.
Exactly.
Wait, you got 7.
I predicted 7-0, however many years ago it was, and since then I've never said a normal 2-0. So we're going with 6-1.
You got me. You in, bro.
we're going with 6-1, and fuck it, Joe Gomez to score his first ever goal.
Bloody hell, you. I thought
my prediction. Now which part of that prediction's more outlandish?
Yeah.
Curtis Jones hat-trick.
And where can people find your content, Tom?
Everywhere but his own channel.
Exactly.
Probably.
That's the correct answer at this point. There is a channel there if you want to subscribe to it. At some point, it'll get something put on it. But right now, you'll find me everywhere else but there.
Fair play, fair play. Well, lads, I hope you all have a good weekend. I hope, obviously, my weekend is the best out of everybody's for obvious reasons. But, man, them, thank you very much for joining us tonight. This has been the Red Cartel. I'm hoping that Liverpool can get back on the right track this weekend. I'm hoping Arsenal slip up, but it'll be interesting, and we will find out. And we'll be back next week. So we'll see you in the next one. Peace. Wow.
Peace.